It has been a full decade since Jacob Roloff, the youngest son of Matt and Amy Roloff from TLC's Little People, Big World, made the life-altering decision to step away from reality television. At just 18 years old, Jacob turned his back on the fame and fortune that came with being a part of one of TLC's most popular reality families. Today, Jacob has not only rebuilt his life, he's redefined it, far from cameras, far from scripts, and entirely on his own terms. Jacob's story is a powerful one, a journey of healing, self-discovery, and transformation. From exposing personal trauma to embracing life as a father, farmer, and advocate for change, Jacob has rewritten his narrative and reclaimed his identity. This is how he did it. Walking away from TV at 18. In 2015, when Jacob turned 18, he made a bold move. He decided not to renew his contract with TLC. For years, fans had watched Jacob grow up on screen alongside his siblings, Zach, Jeremy, and Molly. But behind the scenes, Jacob had become increasingly disillusioned with the reality TV world. He spoke candidly about his reasons for leaving the show, revealing that he felt manipulated and misrepresented. Jacob called out the editing and scripting that took place, noting that reality TV wasn't as real as it appeared to viewers. According to him, situations were often contrived, and conversations were guided by producers to fit a certain narrative. On Instagram, he later wrote, "I was 18 and finally had the agency to not sign the contract. I used that money to build my world back again with my wife and child, rather than capitalize on it for all it was worth." For Jacob, it wasn't just a career decision. It was about survival. He wanted peace, authenticity, and freedom, things he couldn't find under studio lights and the gaze of millions of viewers. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The public revelation of personal trauma. One of the most significant turning points in Jacob Roloff's life came in December 2020. Jacob posted a deeply emotional message on Instagram, revealing that he had been sexually abused by a producer associated with Little People, Big World during his childhood. The producer, Chris Cardamone, had worked on the show between 2007 and 2010. Jacob wrote, "As a child, after what I realize now was a long grooming process, I was molested by an executive field producer for LPBW. This revelation sent shockwaves through the fanbase and the broader entertainment industry. Jacob's bravery in coming forward was met with support and admiration. He made it clear that he wasn't sharing his story for attention or vengeance, but rather to reclaim his voice, support other survivors, and highlight the dangers that children face in the entertainment world." He added, "I continue to pursue healing and strength for survivors, and for anyone who has dealt with abuse or trauma. My story is not unique, and that's exactly why it must be told." Since coming forward, Jacob has become a quiet advocate for survivors of childhood abuse, using his platform to encourage healing and openness. Building a new life with Isabel Rock. In 2019, Jacob married his longtime girlfriend Isabel Rock, an artist and writer. Their love story blossomed away from the cameras, and their relationship became the emotional foundation for the life Jacob wanted to build. The couple welcomed their first child, Mateo Tomas Roloff, in December 2021. Jacob has often described fatherhood as one of the greatest blessings of his life. He has said that being a dad gave him a new perspective and deepened his commitment to creating a safe, grounded, and intentional environment for his family. He and Isabel chose not to post Mateo's face online, a decision rooted in Jacob's own experiences with childhood fame. He explained that they want Mateo to grow up with privacy, free from the scrutiny and pressures that Jacob faced as a child on TV. The Roloff farm, which Jacob now helps manage alongside his father Matt, has become the couple's home base. It's a peaceful, rural environment where Jacob and Isabel grow food, raise animals, and explore sustainable living. A life of simplicity and intention. Unlike his siblings Zach and Jeremy, Jacob has made a conscious effort to stay out of the spotlight. While he occasionally posts on social media, his presence is low-key, thoughtful, and grounded. His posts often revolve around themes of nature, philosophy, spirituality, and social justice. Jacob has become an advocate for organic farming, environmental sustainability, and decentralized community living. On the farm, he has taken a leading role in growing vegetables, managing crops, and experimenting with regenerative agriculture techniques. He envisions the Roloff farm as more than just land. To Jacob, it's a potential sanctuary for learning and healing. In 2023, he hinted at plans to open the farm to local communities through educational programs, agritourism, and co-op initiatives. In one post, he said, "We want the farm to be used for the community. We want to create a space that feeds people, teaches people, and helps people reconnect with the land." His views on wealth and TV fame. In the years since leaving Little People, Big World, Jacob has been outspoken about the financial and emotional cost of growing up on reality television. In a tweet that went viral in 2022, Jacob estimated that he was paid less than $6 an hour during the filming of his childhood. He criticized the industry for exploiting child labor and called for better protections and compensation for children who grow up on TV. Jacob wrote, "TV fame isn't wealth. What they don't tell you is that you give up your privacy, your peace, your autonomy, all for pennies. And the emotional toll doesn't go away." Despite the fame associated with the Roloff name, Jacob has chosen a life that is intentionally modest. He focuses on sustainability, ethical living, and giving back to his community. He's turned down offers for interviews, spin-offs, and brand deals, saying that his peace of mind is more valuable than any check. Healing through nature and philosophy. Jacob's journey over the past 10 years hasn't just been about building a life on the outside. Internally, he has been on a path of deep healing. He often credits nature, philosophy, and spirituality as key components of that healing process. He reads extensively from classic literature to anarchist theory and shares quotes, reflections, and essays that explore themes of justice, humanity, ecology, and freedom. One of his favorite topics is the concept of rerouting. Jacob believes that many of society's problems stem from a disconnection from nature, land, and community. His life now is centered on rooting himself in the soil, in family, and in a way of life that resists corporate consumerism and media manipulation. A father first, a farmer second. Jacob now defines himself in simple terms: father, husband, farmer, writer. His relationship with his son Mateo is one of the brightest parts of his life. Jacob speaks often about the joys of fatherhood, cooking with his son, reading to him, walking through the garden together. He wants Mateo to grow up grounded, empathetic, and curious. At the same time, farming has become Jacob's craft and calling. He spends hours working the land, harvesting produce, learning from mistakes, and embracing the rhythms of nature. For Jacob, farming is more than labor. It's a sacred relationship with the earth. He believes that through soil and seed, we can find healing not just personally, but collectively. Family relationships today. Although Jacob has taken a very different path from his family, he still maintains a respectful relationship with many of them. He has worked on the farm with his father Matt on various projects and has appeared occasionally in photos at family events and gatherings. However, it's clear that Jacob has established boundaries. He doesn't engage in family drama publicly and prefers to keep his distance from the fame and media attention that surrounds the Roloff brand. Jacob's focus remains on his wife, his son, and the quiet, meaningful work of daily life. Looking to the future, Jacob hasn't laid out a 5-year plan or a brand strategy. That's not his style. But his goals are clear: protect his family, live with integrity, grow food, educate others, and continue healing. In a recent social media post, he reflected on where he was a decade ago and where he is now. 10 years ago, I walked away with nothing but my freedom. And from that freedom, I built a life. I built love. I built trust. I built roots. That's the only wealth I care about. He hopes to expand the farm's reach in the coming years, offering community classes, opening a farm stand, and inviting others to learn about sustainability, healing, and mindful living. For now, Jacob's journey is far from over, but he walks it with clarity, courage, and authenticity.